Welcome to Sharp Angle. SpaceX just did it. Starship, the biggest rocket ever built, finally made it to orbit. No explosion, no mid-air failure. It worked, and that's not just a win for Elon Musk. It's a turning point for America's future in space, and maybe even for your wallet. Think about this. A rocket taller than the Statue of Liberty, more powerful than anything in history, reusable like an airplane. It's not science fiction. It's real. It's here, and it could change the balance of power on Earth and beyond. Let's break down what just happened, why it matters, and what it means for Americans back home. Starship launched successfully, carrying 8 dummy satellites into orbit. This was after years of setbacks. Boosters that failed to separate. Rockets that blew up in dramatic fireballs, endless delays. But this time, it worked. Starship reached orbit, deployed its payload, and came back with the data SpaceX needed. That makes it more than a flashy launch. It proves the concept is real. It proves that the world's most ambitious rocket project isn't just hype, but a functioning reality. To put this in context, remember Apollo's Saturn V? It took America to the moon, but was single-use and insanely expensive. The space shuttle promised reusability, but turned out to be costly and risky. Falcon 9 changed the game with reusable boosters, and now Starship pushes the bar further. Fully reusable, 400 feet tall, with 150 tons of payload to orbit. This is not an incremental step. It's a leap. The difference is like comparing a steam engine to a bullet train. Both move, but only one redefines what's possible. What makes it special? First, power. The super heavy booster generates 16 million pounds of thrust, more than twice Saturn V second. Every part is meant to fly again. That's what could slash launch costs from hundreds of millions down to just a few million. Third, versatility. Cargo, satellites, astronauts, even point-to-point travel on Earth. Imagine flying from New York to Tokyo in under an hour. And fourth, ambition. Musk calls it the first step toward a multiplanetary civilization. Lofty words, but now backed by real results. In short, Starship is built not for one mission, but for a whole new era of space travel. And of course, politics and money are at the core. NASA has already picked Starship as the lunar lander for the Artemis program. That means when Americans walk on the moon again, odds are they'll be riding on Musk's rocket. Congress debates the price tag every year, but the momentum is clear. Supporters say space investment drives jobs and technology. Critics say billions are being burned in space while problems at home go unsolved. Either way, Starship forces the conversation. Is space a luxury or a necessity for America's future? And there's also a quiet truth. America spends far more on defense in a week than NASA spends in a year. Space is expensive, but not compared to war. For ordinary Americans, it matters more than you think. Jobs, thousands already work for SpaceX and suppliers, and more will. Technology, new materials, software, communications, the kind of things that filter down into daily life. Inspiration. When kids see a rocket this size take off, it makes science and engineering cool again. And don't forget pride. In a world where China is racing for the moon, America just proved it's still number one. Even if you never look at the night sky, the ripple effects reach your wallet and your children's classrooms. Globally, this is a message. China has its Long March 10th project, aiming for a moon landing by 2030. Russia talks big, but can barely keep its program alive. Europe and Japan contribute but can't compete at this scale. Starship puts the US back at the front of the space race, and in the 21st century, leadership in space equals leadership in technology, security, and even economics. That's why Beijing is nervous. Moscow is resentful, and Washington is celebrating. The rocket that reached orbit this week wasn't just a test, it was a geopolitical signal flare. The economic ripple effects are huge. Cheaper launches mean more satellites, more global internet access, better weather forecasting, better navigation. It also means new industries, space tourism, asteroid mining, lunar bases. Analysts estimate the global space economy could top $1 trillion by 2040, and America has the inside track if Starship works as advertised. Investors are already circling. Venture capitalists see not just rockets, but entire new ecosystems of businesses that will ride on Starship's back. For taxpayers, it could mean more bang for the buck. If launches are cheap, NASA's dollars go further. But let's be clear, risks are everywhere. No humans have flown on Starship yet, and one serious accident could set the program back years. Environmental concerns are real. Massive fuel burn, noise, coastal ecosystems at risk. And financially, even Musk admits failure is possible. This is a high-stakes gamble, and history shows not every bold rocket dream survives. From Challenger to Columbia, spaceflight has always been risky. Starship may reduce costs, but it cannot eliminate danger. Inside the United States, Starship's success is already becoming a political football. Democrats highlight the jobs and technological benefits, but worry about Musk's growing influence. Republicans celebrate the triumph of private enterprise. and American leadership in Congress. Debates over NASA funding now include questions about whether to double down on SpaceX or spread contracts to competitors like Blue Origin. Either way, Starship is forcing Washington to admit that America's space future is now tied to Elon Musk more than to NASA itself. So what are the scenarios? Optimistic. Starship flies regularly, lands astronauts on the moon, and points toward Mars. Realistic. Progress is slower. It changes satellite launches and the economics of space, but human Mars missions remain decades away. Pessimistic. Technical or financial collapse leaves NASA scrambling for backup. Each outcome changes America's role in the world, either as pioneer, steady leader, or fading power. And it changes what kind of future our kids inherit. One that looks up to the stars, or one that looks back at missed chances. History tells us these moments matter. Sputnik changed the Cold War. Apollo put America on top. The shuttle was a promise that never fully delivered. Now Starship is the next chapter. It could be remembered as the start of a new era, or as a reminder that ambition alone isn't enough. But right now, it's a success. And success breeds momentum. Momentum breeds funding. And funding, in space, means the difference between dreams and reality. But there's also the risk of false hope. Americans have been promised moon bases and Mars colonies for decades. The difference now is that a private company is leading, not the government. That changes the incentives. Musk wants to move fast, sometimes too fast. NASA wants safety and sustainability, sometimes too slowly. The tension between those approaches will shape whether Starship becomes Apollo 11 or another. Shuttle bold dreams, tempered by tragedy. And here's the bottom line. Starship isn't just a rocket. It's a bet that America can lead the next century the way it led the last one. For Americans, it's jobs, pride, and inspiration. For the world, it's the start of a new space race. Thanks for watching Sharp Angle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Because when rockets the size of skyscrapers light up the sky, staying informed isn't optional, it's essential.